Hi, thanks for checking in on the Refresh group. I just got back from the reception where we congratulated Ron and Will, and I'd like to share some of what happened at the meeting while it's still fairly fresh in my mind. I'm sure I'll overlook some important points, and I'm counting on my many colleagues who attended the meeting to add notes to the forum. The forum on this page is where we would like to continue brainstorming and discuss various topics that came up at the meeting that others may raise afterwards through the summer. So even if we can't move forward on all fronts, we can consider thinking about this and carry with us some great momentum that we, excuse me, started at today's meeting with a really fine turnout. We know not everybody could attend, and of course, it's not too late for you to join in with our efforts. Basically, we spent the first part of the meeting discussing the issues and sort of dividing some of these issues into categories as best we could. We also speculated on possible solutions. And one thing that I kind of holding at the front of my mind is the balance we need to maintain between trying to move forward with a vision of a kind of design that really serves this school, that speaks to who we are, and also exemplifies the great and unique kind of work that our students are doing. But at the same time, we can't be paralyzed by working through a grand vision, a grand design. I would really like to see us make some gains in the short term. In fact, I've set as our group goal next fall's open house as a time where we can look back on our first few months of this endeavor and actually see some substantial change and take some satisfaction in that. So among the different issues that we discussed were our first one that we are going to move forward with, and that is actual removal of some of the art that's up. Maybe this will be permanent removal. I shouldn't say art. It also involves plaques, other installations that are not grouped thematically in the building. Maybe some of these things can be refurbished and regrouped and be replaced elsewhere in the building. But I'm sorry to say that it's rather consensus that we would actually improve the look of the school in many cases by simply removing some of the stuff that's there. I used as an example the North Hall, which has been completely stripped of all its old installations and in fact has a nicer look to it with cleanly painted walls than some of the other areas in the building. And that art which was removed has hardly been clamored for. Nobody's been pounding on Jay's door to demand that the art be put back up on the wall or that it be put up in someone's classroom, which might be an interesting possibility for some of you to entertain if you're worried about where the old art might go. We do recognize with our removal group, and we formed a task force on the subject to meet and work over the summer, that disposal is an issue. Proper acknowledgement of work that's been loaned to us is something that needs to be considered. Of paramount importance is coordination with the maintenance department as they go through their cleaning cycle for the summer. And also we want to be concerned about the possibility that if we remove something, it might not look too good on that wall if there's some kind of marking or there that we weren't aware of. So we'll be cognizant of that. We formed a group, and if you'd like to join us and actually meet on this during the summer, I'm going to be sending around a Moodle to set up a meeting soon, and we'll be moving forward on that front. Another task force that may get started before summer's end is the group that's very interested in improving the courtyards. Susan Smith is going to do some drawing, design for courtyard, and depending on her schedule, as this moves forward, she might hope to bring together that group over the summer and move forward. You're welcome to sign up for any of these groups. There are four other ones that we've also begun forming, which involve different areas. One of the most interesting ones, the surfaced during the meeting was the idea of giving our entrances special attention. And the fact that in our situation, we actually have three main entrances. So, of course, it wouldn't be reasonable to take on all three at the same time. If we could have an impact on one, the one that I think we're most interested in addressing is the reception area, that in itself could be a major accomplishment. And this was a kind of, when Jan Mordensky pointed that out, that, well, maybe if we did one and then worked on another, this, I think that's a good guiding suggestion for other areas like the courtyard. Are we going to be overwhelmed because we can't do all the courtyard? Should we focus perhaps instead on one courtyard? And that may be helpful as we move forward. One of the most important groups involves the new installations that go up. And we agreed that that group would first consider design issues for the entire school. In other words, we wouldn't take a bunch of student product and art and just kind of spread it through the school to try to give ourselves some new decoration. But we'd actually consult with others who have also kind of implied at least an interest in this area. We know that there's going to be some kind of legacy exhibition that's planned in the works for the sort of the history of the Sisters of Mercy and Catherine McCauley. And we also want to team with the mission group as we move forward with new installations. But of course, that's a paramount concern. In addition to that, we also, let's see, got to scroll down my notes here. Oh, we also have a group that is interested in setting some standards, perhaps recommendations for what goes up, and finding a way to time limit some of the postings that go up in the school. We think that the work that goes up in the hall, the exhibits, shouldn't be hastily patched together. And we had a number of interesting points made about bulletin boards, and perhaps the students have actually too much bulletin board space to maintain in an attractive way. But we would like to find a way to filter out some of the hand-scrawled posters that go up, and also perhaps make some recommendations for teachers and students about displays in the hall, and see if we can't raise the bar a little bit on how we're exhibiting ourselves, and how long even some of the posters and postings get placed. So the standards group is also an important one to consider. I wanted to mention as well, when we're regarding our displays, one of the items of great interest that came up in the meeting was the idea of using electronic display. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to at least investigate that so much of our students' work now is digital, that this is an important part of the brand of the school. These kinds of displays are more common, very interesting. That's something that we hope to investigate as well, though we didn't dedicate a whole task force to that. So please sign up if any of those particular areas interest you. On the wiki, we're looking for people who might want to work on the courtyards, the entrances, taking down the installations, and standards. I hope I covered all those task force. And thank you if you made it this long to with my ramblings. Thanks for listening. We're really excited about moving forward. Please join us.